Toynado!
Hi, I'm Anthony, researcher, collator and collector who has been told on more than one occasion that if there were a collection of live redback spiders, I would collect those too. And with me behind the control panel is the Bunsen to my Beaker, the Waldorf to my Statler, and dare I say, the Gonzo to my Kermit, Pete.
Shucks, Anthony. Today in the question mark box, we have... the Muppet Babies push toys from the Happy Meal at McDonald's. Yeah. I gotta be honest with you, Anthony. I don't remember the cartoon too well. I don't remember the TV ads. But these toys were simply the bomb. A Happy Meal toy I used to go crazy for.
I know what you mean. A Happy Meal was a special treat for us too.
Back in the day, going out for takeaway was something that was not a regular occurrence. It was a treat. And I remember that my dad used to scratch his head wondering why he had to make a request to find out what Happy Meal toy there was. Or why his kids would say, can we go to another McDonald's instead of this one to see what toy they have because we're missing some.
And my brother and I definitely did can we go to a different McDonald's? Or, hey, can you ask which ones they have? So having a little brother, we both needed our own set. And we were lucky in that I had a nana and an uncle who would also go to McDonald's and get the Happy Meals for us when something special like the Muppet Babies ones came out. And I can just imagine my nana or my uncle going up to the counter as full-grown adults asking for Happy Meals.
These toys are part of my childhood. They brought a lot of happiness.
Now, Pete, I've got an interesting fact for you that I'm sure is true about these. Now, I recollect that these actually came out twice in our childhood.
I've learned not to argue with you on this type of facts now, Anthony. Continue.
The first time they came out, Animal wasn't included.
Animal.
And then later, it might have been a year or maybe a little bit longer, an Animal was included. So by the time they came out the second time,
Animal.
all my family needed was Animal.
Alright, I guess we'll just ignore that spot-on accuracy voiceover of a Muppets classic. I guess we'll just ignore it.
Pete, do you know what year these came out? I'm certain it was around the 90s at some point. But looking online and trying to do some research and looking at the bottom of the figures, it looks like they came out in 1986. Now that can't be right. I'm far too young, and my brother would have been far too young at that point to have them.
Yeah, but I would be far too old if they didn't come out at that time.
And as for your comment about not remembering the cartoon show, Pete, it was amazing. You obviously had the animation style with the little Muppet Babies, but would also splice in parts of movies. So you'd see in the previews and at the beginning in the title screen, you could have Indiana Jones or Star Wars or any sort of movie that would go in there. So as a little preparation for this, I had a look at a few of the episodes on YouTube the other night. One of the episodes I was watching had the Steve Martin movie Roxanne spliced into it. That is a very weird choice. And just in case you're wondering, Pete, the show ran from 1984 all the way up to 1991. That's longer than I expected.
Holy balls on a giraffe. Did you know the Chipmunks go to the movies? Season 8 was 1990? Did the Chipmunks go against the Muppets Babies? Holy moly.
So later in the series, they add a couple of the other Muppet regulars from the Muppet Show and the Muppet Movie. So you get Bunsen and Beaker, which makes it very sci-fi, you get points. So there were also Muppet Babies comics at that point in time. So between 1985 and 1989, Marvel Comics ran with it. And then in around 1992, I believe, Harvey Comics takes over for a few issues.
Come on, Anthony. Show us the goods. I know that you've got a comic of this at least. Come on.
Alright, Pete, because you asked for it, here's issue 1 of the Muppet Babies from Harvey Comics. Now, Pete, where did the Muppet Babies first come from?
Well, when there's a special time in people's lives when mum and dad want to have kids, mood lighting gets set, a bit of music gets played, a little bit of birds and the bees talk, eh? Yeah?
So they first appear in a dream sequence in Muppets Take Manhattan. Piggy and Kermit are on a carriage ride through Central Park, and she goes, "Imagine what it'd be like if we met when we were kids." And that's where that goes to. Look, Pete, I really liked these as a kid. These were so much fun to play with. But I was always a little disappointed. Look, I finally got Animal, but what I really wanted was a Rolf. Sitting on a little piano, and you could swap him out with, Animal and Miss Piggy, and it'd be really cool.
A piano with wheels.
You could have put wheels on the piano, it would have been fine. Here's a useless bit of information for you. Did you know that Miss Piggy's car and Gonzo's trike were reused for the DuckTales McDonald's toys?
Holy balls on a baboon! Yes, I'm going with the theme right now. I forgot all about this until you just mentioned it.
Pete, look, I know we try to put articulation into these videos, but do wheels turning count as articulation? Because I think that's all they've got.
I do believe it is rotational motion, not articulation.
Ooh, I tell a lie. Animal's cart has a handle that goes backwards and forwards. One of the really neat things about these Muppet Babies was Kermit and Fozzie were in the same standing position, so you could swap them around, so Kermit could go from his skateboard to the horse, or Fozzie can go from his rocking horse to the skateboard. And then the same could be said for Gonzo on his tricycle and Miss Piggy in her little car. And obviously Animal could fit on the car or the bike as well.
Man, when I was older, I remember lining up my Bart Simpson skateboard toy, my Muppets and Babies Kermit the Frog on his skateboard, and my Ninja Turtle Michelangelo on his skateboard, and just having races around the house with him. God, my childhood was awesome. Bloody awesome.
Thanks for listening to our episode on Muppet Babies McDonald's toys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, maybe pay for a billboard and put it up in Times Square. I don't know, it's your money.
Maybe suggest to some people to subscribe on our behalves. That 50 is not going to reach itself, people. No, really. We appreciate you subscribing.
Also, maybe put down in the comments who your favourite Muppet Baby was. Okay, Pete, I'll leave you with the toys, but I'm going to go see if I can find the Star Wars episode.